Could the registrar please call the case?
Good morning, Your Honours. I call case number IT 0992I, the prosecutor versus Ratko Mladic.
Thank you, Mr. Registrar. Good morning, Mr. Mladic. I'm Judge Alfonsori. I'll be presiding over this initial appearance. To my right is Judge Lacone Justice Malotto, and to my left is Judge Christoph Flüge. Before we continue, could I first check that you're able to follow these proceedings in a language you understand?
I understand. My mother tongue, Serbian. I understand the Macedonian language because I spent many years in Macedonia. As for other languages, I don't understand them.
Mr. Mladic, important is to establish that you can follow the proceedings in a language you understand, and you have confirmed that. If at any time you are not receiving interpretation, or if it is difficult for you to hear the interpretation, please let me know immediately so that we can do something about it. Would you please state your full name for the record?
I am General Ratko Mladić.
And what is your date and place of birth, please?
I was born on Good Monday in 1943.
Mr. Mladic, the information we received is that you would have been born on the 12th of March 1942. Is that, let me just check that.
That is not the correct date of my birth.
Then we'll further verify that. Were you born in the municipality of Kalinovic in Bosnia and Herzegovina?
Judge, I was born in the village of Bozanovići. At the time when I was born, there was a war going on in 1943.
Mr. Mladic, if you would please limit yourself to answer the question at this moment. At a later stage, if there's any relevant matter to be raised, you have an opportunity to do so. Is the place you just mentioned, is that in the municipality of Kalinovic?
Yes, 2.5 kilometers away from Kalinovic. That is where my village of Bozanović is.
Thank you. Mr. Mladic, the Chamber understands that your family and the embassy of the country of which you are a national have been informed about your transfer to and your detention in the United Nations detention unit of the tribunal in The Hague. I take it that this information is correct?
It is correct.
The Chamber has further been briefly informed by the registrar about your arrival in The Hague and the meetings that followed, including those with representatives of the registry. And based on this information, we consider that there are no obstacles to proceed with the initial appearance today. Towards the end of the session, as I just told you, you will have an opportunity to raise any health-related matters that you would like to bring to the attention of the Chamber. We'll have some time for that at a later moment. The information I just conveyed to you is that accurate information?
I did not quite understand. Could you please repeat what you said, and could I receive an interpretation of that? I did not quite understand.
Could we first of all check that you are on the right channel to receive the interpretation? He is, I see. Well, we were informed by the registry about your arrival and what happened after that, including meetings you have had with representatives of the registry. Now, based on that information, the Chamber considers that there are no obstacles at this moment to proceed with the initial appearance today. And as I announced before, at the end of this session, well, you'll have an opportunity to raise any further health-related matters you would like to raise. Is this information we received from the registry correct, and can we proceed with this initial appearance?
Možete produžiti.
You can proceed, and I did understand what you asked me.
Then I see that with you at this moment is counsel. Could counsel introduce himself?
Good morning, Your Honors. I'm Aleksandar Aleksić, attorney at law, and I'm duty counsel. And this morning I represent the defense of General Ratko Mladić. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aleksić. The Chamber was, as you will be aware of, was informed that the Deputy Registrar decided to assign you, and you are attorney of law of Serbia, as counsel to represent the accused at this initial appearance, and in such other matters as may be necessary until a permanent counsel is assigned, and that your assignment is effective from the 2nd of June of this year. I see that you are nodding in the affirmative.
Precisely, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Aleksić. Could I then have the appearances for the prosecution?
Good morning, Your Honors. Sergio Brammertz for the prosecution. With me are David Groom and Peter Miklovsky, senior trial attorneys, and Janet Stewart, case manager.
Thank you, Mr. Brammertz. Mr. Mladic, just for your information, you know now that counsel is sitting next to you, that the prosecution is at the opposite side of this courtroom. You may wonder who the others are. The registrar is here in front of us. Usually during the court hearings there will be a court officer representing the registry. Further, we have an usher, and we have a legal officer who assists the chamber. They're all seated just in front of us. Further, we have a court reporter which prepares the transcript. She's seated over there. And we are further assisted by interpreters and technicians who are in the booth, both to my right and to my left. Mr. Mladic, the acting president assigned your case to Trial Chamber 1 on the 27th of May 2011 and listed the judges it would be composed of. The judges who were assigned have unanimously decided that I, being the most senior in office in this tribunal, would preside over the case. It will take some time before a trial itself will start, and changes in the composition of a chamber before the trial starts are not unheard of. So there's no guarantee that finally will be the bench which will hear your case. The initial appearance of today is governed by Rule 62 of the Rules of Procedure and Evidence. The purpose of this initial appearance is to inform you of the charges that were brought against you and ask for your entry of a plea, as well as to verify that your right to counsel is respected. Now, before I will set out the allegations against you, I inform you now already that you have a fundamental right to remain silent in these proceedings. I will start with a brief procedural history with regard to the indictment in your case. You were initially indicted on the 24th of July 1995. In 1996, on the 16th of July, a review of the indictment under Rule 61 of the Rules of Procedure and Evidence took place. And if you'd like to know what exactly Rule 61 proceedings is, please consult counsel and he'll explain it to you. The indictment against you was amended several times, and the now operative indictment was filed on the 1st of June of this year. You were arrested on the 26th of May 2011 in Serbia, and you were subsequently transferred to the seat of the tribunal on the 31st of May. Before we continue, I'd first like to have Articles 20 and 21 of the statute of this tribunal read to you, articles that address the commencement and the conduct of trial proceedings and the rights of an accused. Could the representative of the registrar please read Articles 20 and 21 of the statute?
Article 20. Commencement and conduct of trial proceedings. The trial chamber shall ensure that the trial is fair and expeditious, and that proceedings are conducted in accordance with the rules of procedure and evidence, with full respect for the rights of the accused and due regards for the protection of victims and witnesses. A person against whom an indictment has been confirmed shall, pursuant to an order or an arrest warrant of the International Tribunal, be taken into custody, immediately informed of the charges against him, and transferred to the International Tribunal. The trial chamber shall read the indictment, satisfy itself that the rights of the accused are respected, confirm that the accused understands the indictment, and instruct the accused to enter a plea. The trial chamber shall then set the date for trial. The hearings shall be public unless the trial chamber decides to close the proceedings in accordance with its rules of procedure and evidence. Article 21. Rights of the accused. All persons shall be equal before the International Tribunal. In the determination of charges against him, the accused shall be entitled to a fair and public hearing, subject to Article 22 of the statute. The accused shall be presumed innocent until proved guilty according to the provisions of the present statute. In the determination of any charges against the accused pursuant to the present statute, the accused shall be entitled to the following minimum guarantees in full equality: to be informed promptly and in detail in a language which he understands of the nature and cause of the charge against him, to have adequate time to facilities for the preparation of his defense, and to communicate with counsels of his own choice, to be tried without undue delay, to be tried in his presence, and to defend himself in person or through legal assistance of his own choosing, to be informed if he does not have legal assistance of his right, and to have legal assistance assigned to him in any case where the interest of justice so require, and whom payment by him in any such case if he does not have sufficient means to pay for it, to examine or have examined the witnesses against him, and to obtain the attendance and examination of witnesses on his behalf under the same conditions as witnesses against him, to have the free assistance of an interpreter if he cannot understand or speak the language used in the International Tribunal, not to be compelled to testify against himself or to confess guilt.
Thank you, Madam Registrar. Mr. Mladic, do you understand these rights which were just read out to you?
Gospodine sudija.
Judge, I am a gravely ill man. I heard what the young lady said. I need a bit more time to think about all the things that she read out, so please bear with me, be patient. I was taken to the prison infirmary and 3 binders of documents were brought to me. I haven't read any of that and I haven't signed anything because I could not. I was in such a poor state, actually. I had this stress, and now I did understand what the girl read out.
Yes, let me stop you.
Roughly.
Let me stop you there, Mr. Mladic. The rights you are entitled to are read out by the registry. I do understand that you want to further think about these rights, and if I understand you well, not having read everything yet, the materials you have received until now, that you want to consider your position. If there's any need to be further informed about what these rights exactly mean, I take it that Council will assist you. Mr. Alexic, you'd be willing to further explain and to answer any questions Mr. Mladic may have in relation to the rights that were just read to him.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Thank you. Then I